Hey girls, it's Jenny with Planner Perfect, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about finding your calling, your purpose, and using your planner surrounding this new knowledge. Stay tuned. Welcome back, you guys. My name is Jenny with Planner Perfect, and I teach women how to write a better story for their lives. I'm also a homeschooling mother of 8, a Grammy to 2 grandbabies, and owner and founder of Planner Perfect planners and journals. So welcome. Today's a really important topic. I like to do at least one video a week of something inspiring for you to really get motivated and inspired to really write a better story. And really what that means is that you're going to really embark on a journey of creating change, growing, and becoming, and into you who you're called to be. So a lot of times moms get stuck. They forget who they are. Okay, first off, they forget who they are. They were a mom for a while, and now, the season has changed, and so now they're just kind of trying to figure out, they're navigating through new waters. I think a lot of times moms, they put all of their efforts and everything into the well-being of their children, and that they find their goals, dreams, calling, and they go for it. Yet we neglect ourselves. Now, I've always preached, moms, listen, we need to set examples of what going after goals even looks like. I mean, honestly, if kids are gonna learn anything, it's by what you've done and by observance from you, quite honestly. It's not gonna be by what you preached as much as what you demonstrated and what you showed. Okay, so it doesn't mean that we have to pack our bags and leave home. It means that we can use our calling, our gifts, and find our purpose all within littles around us, or no matter what season we're in. So, and if I can do it, ladies, you can do it too. Okay, so listen, I love it when I get wonderful questions in my fans group. It's over on Facebook if you want to join us over there. It's really great and inspiring. Women do show and demonstrate their planning and what's inspiring them. It's a great place to get inspired. I do get a lot of questions too. This one was about, hey, I'm getting, and I know who you know. If you're watching this, thank you for the question, because it will help other women. So just note that anytime you have a question, if you hear me repeating it and answering it on my social, on my YouTube, it's only because I feel like a lot of women can relate to that question, and that a lot of women are going to get benefit from me answering that question. So thank you for asking the question, being fearless and saying, hey, this is what our question was. The scripting method, I'm kind of bored. I haven't done it for a while. Have you guys been in this rut before? I'm bored of scripting. Really great question. Let's talk about it. First, let's talk about, especially if you're new to me, okay, what is scripting? Scripting is basically a long-handed version full of details about how you're going to accomplish the goals within your day. Now, that's how the method is for me. That's how I've used a long-handed version of really writing things out, so that it's those intentions, because if you go off of just bullet points, you're not really impressing the mind enough. Those are just rapid fire tasks that have to be done. And you're really taking them out of context, out of the whole of you, out of your goals, out of who you are, who you're becoming. If you corral to-dos, especially those, that you're incorporating that move you toward an end goal of the calling you have, then those are going to work so much greater for you if you put them into the context of, let's say, your day, okay? Like, how are you going to accomplish these and why you're accomplishing them? Whenever I break down a to-do or something, a task, and I really honestly will second guess it sometimes. Like, I'll start writing it out, like how I'm doing it or why, and I'm like, wait a minute, why am I doing this again? I'm gonna delegate this one out. Or, you know what I mean? It makes you become purposeful about every single element of your life, and why you're doing what you're doing. You're evaluating your life on a daily basis, which is so needed if you're a woman on purpose and if you're going for your calling. You don't have time to waste time. You don't want to be busy to just be busy. You have a race to run. You have a calling on your life. God has created you with a seed inside that is your calling, that is already built within, and it's got gifts and talents all ready for you to refine. And that is really your quest, is to find that out. Now, the mistake was made for me in my early motherhood years, was thinking that motherhood should come first because, I needed to put all of me into my kids and to kind of put me on the shelf for just a little bit. Well, I just kept having more and more kids. So having 8 halfway through, and none of these were planned, by the way, except for the last one, oddly enough. Long story. So it was like, God, is there more to me than this, right? It's like, is there, is it just filled with peanut butter and jellies? Because I'm feeling a little like I'm lost in this motherhood thing. And I was really just bawling my eyes out thinking, if this is it for me, then I'm completely bored. But yet it was a catch-22. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to do anything else that meant leaving my children or doing something different. It wasn't that. It was a heart yearning for something that was very natural, that God wanted me to find, and I was finding it and I was seeking for it, because God puts within us a desire, an idea, something burning within us so that we can use our talents and our gifts too. So I didn't have to feel guilty about that, and I found that out, and God said that to me. He said, there's something in you that I want you to do, and you can do it while raising your children. And that just made me like grin from ear to ear. And so not only was I now fulfilling God's purpose, that, mind you, was not downloaded all in one moment. Like, Jenny, listen, this is what I have for you, and so let's start here. No, he's like, this is what I want you to do first. Okay, so it's a step-by-step guide. You just don't get downloaded a calling. It's more like, we're going to do this here, then we're going to do this over here, and I'm going to put you over here, and then, okay, we messed up there. Let's move you around, use it for your good, and I'm going to put you over there, and then, oh, wow, we really messed up this time. Let's go ahead and clean that up, and I'm still waiting for you to come back to me. I'm nudging you. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go. All right. Let's use this for your good. Okay. Let's go over here. I'm going to clean that up. We're going to use it for your good. But you got get back in the race. How long it takes is up to us. God is there waiting. Okay. So now understanding this is really exciting, because now you know that you're on a calling, and now motherhood took on a whole new meaning for me. So if I have any new moms, young moms, get excited, because there's a calling on your life, a purpose on your life outside of motherhood, because motherhood is a role. It's not a calling. You're going to want to make sure that you don't put that in the wrong box, because if you put motherhood in the wrong box, your focus will be wrong, and you won't be able to hear God in terms of your calling. So I am here to remind you that you are more than your children's mother. So now let's get going and knowing and really getting to know ourselves on what we're good at and what our talents are. And let's begin to use them for God, because he has got something on you. Ask the right questions, you'll hear the answer. That's what I've been also preaching, is that, listen, if you don't even have the right questions about yourself, God can't give you those answers, because you're not even in the same sphere, because you're not even wanting to know. You know what I mean? So I love asking God questions. I ask the Holy Spirit. I'm like, God, Holy Spirit, guide me, show me where I'm to go, where I'm to be, what's next. Show me what I need to do, And I remember listening to something about this one pastor. Now I can't remember who he was. I'm going to remember after I'm done here. But he said, quit chasing miracles all the time. And man, did that speak to me. Because I think we just feel like we ought to just be, my miracle's not here. Like, this should be happening like next day, arrival, like Amazon. Like, why is it, where's my miracle? Where's my promised land? Because I've been sitting here for what seems like an eternity. Well, let me tell you something, girls. It is an Amazon, and God's working on us to be able to prepare us, to prepare a place for us. Okay, so when he's preparing you, there's a lot of character building. There's a lot of seeing if you can handle the small stuff first. There's a lot of seeing if you're prepared and ready for the big stuff. He's wanting to see if you can trust him. He's going to want to see if you're using your faith. He's going to want to see. So there's a lot of this going on. And it isn't going to be quick, and it isn't going to be fast. And when we do come to the promised land, we do get to that breakthrough, whatever we're looking for, we're going to actually be able to keep it and stay there because we've got the grit, the faith, we've got the perseverance built in. You know, we know the character of God, and we know God, and we had spent that time getting to know God, having that relationship with him, so that we could persevere, so that when we get through that first breakthrough, we can handle more storms, more big things that come with storms, and more bigger storms, because now we have got the character and the perseverance and the faith that can go with it. So this is all such a journey of faith and character building, and learning how to care for our bodies, learning how to not neglect them, and then wondering why when hands are laid on us, you know, in a church service, it's not really working right now. Just knowing, though, that healing is yours, but that sometimes maybe God needs to teach us how to take care of our bodies so that we can keep our health. There's so much detailed into it. But what's important is that for you to understand that this is a journey, a really fun and exciting journey, a journey where God is going to take you step by step. But the most important thing that you need to know is that you have a calling on your life. A lot of women don't even know that. And listen to the question for the woman who asked, what if I am bored of scripting? What if I don't? What if I'm bored? What's happening? Has anyone been in this rut? Let me answer that question for you. And I hope that this inspires you. Listen, girls, if you are bored of scripting, and let's say you want to go back to just a to-do list and a pretty planner, that maybe time management, where, you know, you are handling your day-to-day chores and things like that in a beautifying way, though nothing absolutely wrong with that, and that is part and incorporated into my method and planning system. If you're bored with scripting, then my answer to that is, then your goals aren't big enough. Because if your goals are big, and if you're dreaming outside your scope and realm of what you can do, then you are getting so fired up and lit with excitement, with ideas you want to pursue, that you're going to start writing and 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 writing. It goes beyond a to-do list, quite frankly. When you're dreaming a dream, a big dream, and you get a download that is full of just this idea or ideas, you don't bullet point those. Those are like epiphanies. Those are like wondrous ideas. Those are like, it's like the Einstein of scripting. It's like, instead of all the numbers and the chalkboard and then like, blah, 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 like this, and you're just all over, you're on your pages, planning pages, choreographing life on how you're going to, your first steps of how you're going to do this, to take that leap of faith and go for that idea without knowing how those steps are going to go or how far it'll take you. All you know is you've got a download, you got an idea. And so now you're getting in that planner and you're starting to really write and you're starting to really script because it's an idea. And it's like, I kind of like that, the Einstein of planning. It's really, that's what scripting method is. It's like, you're choreographing. You get like, okay, I'm going to do this here. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try this. I'm going to call her. I'm going to do this. I'm going to approach that. I'm going to try this. And I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take the idea. And a lot of women stop, and a lot of women don't go for the stuff that makes them a little nervous. That whoa, no. A lot of women, a lot of people in general, not just women, but they don't take that leap of faith. They don't try that risk. They don't go and make themselves vulnerable. They don't, they kind of recede, and I'm inspiring you to not recede anymore. I want you to find your calling Ask God. If you don't know what it is, ask God what it is. Ask God, what are my talents? Maybe you should get out a big scrap piece of paper and just start writing down things that you love. Just roll it out. Just whoa. All the things you love and all the things you love to do and all the things you love. Write it all out. Something's going to catch you there. When you're in that kind of mode, you're really into receiving from God, because you're asking, you're seeking, and you're knocking. And when you do that, you're going to hear. God's always talking, but you got to ask, you got to knock, you got to find out. I'm always like, yeah, it's me again. Listen, I'm with God. I am seeking. Seek, ask, knock. Seek, ask, knock, and you will receive it. You're going to receive an answer so that you can move forward with your life, with your goals and your dreams. And I will tell you that with everything I've embarked upon, with my business, with my children, with my health, with my children's health, asking God what you need to know is all you need to do to begin. When it comes to your goals, your dreams, ask God, where do I begin? I'm ready. I'm ready for a change. I'm ready to do your will. I'm ready for you to use me. I'm ready. Show me, God, show me. Sit in quiet. After you read some scriptures in the morning, or you're doing your little quiet time, you read some scriptures. A lot of times we pray a little bit and we shut the book. We're like, okay, time for coffee and Facebook. You know what it's time for? It's time for meditation instead. You know what that really means? Sit in quiet for a little bit, ask God some questions, and then just be still. Because whenever I'm in quiet, and when I'm just quiet, I'm like, God, you're just praising God, you're just there with God, and you're quiet, you're not talking. You're just done talking. You're just quiet. That's when you're going to get those downloads. That's when you're going to get your first idea. That's when you're going to start to develop that kind of relationship where you and God are in this relationship, a working relationship, in a relationship where you can't live without Him even 1 second. You can't make a move. You can't go from left to right. I spent many years thinking that God was far off, that, anyways, God's far off, and I got to handle what's really bad right now on earth. I really did that in my 20s and 30s. I was like, this is pressing. No one can certainly help me now. Okay. Because it was like, what can I do? What do I have to do to fix this? And all I did was make a mess of things. And it took a lot longer. God could have revealed so much to me to be able to handle those storms. But I learned from it, at least. Thank you. And so it's just one of those things where when you get into the right mode of being able to know who you are, know that there's a calling on your life, that there's a seed within you that has already got everything in it to be able to fulfill this calling and this purpose. When you know that, now your planning takes on a whole new feel. Has a whole new purpose. It is for mapping out the steps to a life that you love. It's writing that better story. It's fulfilling your purpose, and it's always so full of joy. And God's going to accomplish things through you that you never could have done on your own, and you know darn well you didn't even do it. Like, I didn't do this, God did. I don't even know how I did this. This is like, but you were there. You were a vessel, that you were available. You were there to do it for. God's wanting you to be available, to use those gifts and your talents, to use what you're good at. Use them for the world. Okay? So, and to further the kingdom. That's why we're here. And so there's this purpose that is on you. You want to die using all of you. You want to die empty. You want to have you've just given it all out. You've given it. You've shared. You don't want to die and then you never wrote that book. You never gave the world your knowledge. You never shared how you conquered and were victorious through that struggle. To help someone else. You never shared through a book of your breakthrough. There's so much that all of us possess within us that through the use of our gifts and talents would be that uniqueness that we have, that we share, that can help serve the world and serving God and doing His will. So let's use these planners in a way that glorifies God. Let's use these planners where we're getting a vision and we are writing it down. Okay, now that's scriptural even, to write it down on tablets. You take the vision that God gives you and you write it out. So you're not, this isn't about where you don't get bored with scripting because your dreams are big. Dream big. Get a vision that's bigger than you. Get an idea and begin it, and don't stop, because guess what? When you begin a new venture, a new goal, a new dream, a new way of doing things, maybe even just changing up everything you're doing and wanting to live like a different life, you're writing definitely a better story. You're like, you know what? I'm done doing this, XYZ. I'm done. You will hit resistance like a hard brick wall. Bam. Just be forewarned, because that means you're doing something good, and you need to pick yourself up and you dust off the blood and the dirt and you say, I'm back at it and I'm doing it again, because it won't be long before you reach to the other side. But just because you've hit resistance doesn't mean you need to stop. And a lot of times that's what happens. And this is why great people don't become great and success never happens, because they interpret that this is nuts. This is wrong. I should have never done this. This is stupid. Look at this. I'm a wreck. I'm worse off than I was. I was better doing nothing at all. But instead now it's like chaos and storms and everything's brewing and it's just bananas. You have relationship problems. You're fatter. I mean, it's just everything hits the fan. But guess what? That's all a part of going for gold. I'm telling you, experience. It's all a part. Every time something like this happens, when I start something new, which I start something new quite often, I'll yell out to my husband, is this a test? Please say this is just a test, because I'm ready to just like, I'm done. Okay. And seriously, so it's my new thing with my husband. Like he'll be in another room and he could hear me just like, I'm falling apart. Like things are falling apart. And I'm like, this is just a test, right? I mean, he's like, it's just a test. So just remember that when you hear that over, the radio, your phone, this is just a test from the weather system. That's God telling you, this is just a test. Will you pass? Will you pass? Will you pass? How are you going to handle the storm? How are you going to get back up and do it again? Because it's right. It's what you need to do. It's the changes you need to make in order to be better, grow better, to be a better mother, a better wife, to be that entrepreneur, to write that book. Because you are going to hit it, and you're going to hit it hard. And it could take 1, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It could take a while. But you got this. You got this, because you know what's on the other side? Success, the promised land, achieving what seems to be the impossible, because God's taking you there. And then you're like, wow, I have a lot more patience and perseverance than I ever thought I had. You'll be so amazed at what you'll achieve and what you'll do and who you'll be. It's you begin. Take this step. And I'm saying this, it's not even the new year. This is my halfway through to this year pep talk, because we're already on it before the new year comes. Because then when the new year comes for the Plan of Perfect community, we're already weathered into this. We're like, oh yeah, let's go for the goals, because I'm already weathered and know what it takes to go for intentions. I already know there's going to be tests, and I'm going to pass the tests. So we're already conditioned and know what to expect for these kind of things. And so we're just like living fresh in new planners with new goals, more new dreams, and new aspirations that are going to take us higher and higher and higher. I mean, so that's what it's all about over in the Plan of Perfect community. Hey, listen, I'm glad that you stuck out with me today. I hope that you found this inspiring. Welcome to the Plan of Perfect community. If you have not liked or subscribed, I really hope that you do if you found this helpful. I do teach women and coach women how to write that better story and how to live a life on purpose and to become all who you were created to be. Until next time.